Clark County Today is presented by Connell Real Estate. Hire an agent, get a team. Learn more by visiting connellrealestate.com.
Happy Friday, Clark County. I'm Jacob Granneman. Thanks for joining us. Let's take a look at our top stories for today. Clark County Public Health reported an increase of 38 new confirmed cases of COVID-19 for the county today. The increase brings the total number of cases up to 2,219. A new death was blamed on the virus also reported today of a man in his 70s with undetermined underlying health conditions. The most recent death brings the county's total number to 43. Hospitalization rates have declined since yesterday, with a slight drop in occupied hospital beds by a confirmed COVID-19 case from 21 to 19. A more significant drop in beds occupied by a suspected case was seen, going from 10 to only 2 today. These drops bring a subsequent decrease in the percentage of Clark County hospital beds occupied across both Legacy Salmon Creek and Peace Health Southwest, down to 64.8% today. Clark County Superior Court is expecting to resume trials soon, which naturally includes jury selection. But don't look for jury selection to happen at the courthouse. That's too small a venue now during the pandemic. Here's Paul Valencia out at the Clark County Event Center, where a staging area and 2 temporary courtrooms have been set up.
Hey, this is Paul Valencia. I'm sitting in jury seat number 25 for Clark County Superior Court. And if I just got called up to talk to the judge, I'd come up to this microphone right here. We are at the Clark County Fairgrounds, and this is where jury selection will be taking place.
We're bringing the courthouse to the fairgrounds here because it's one space that's large enough that we can handle jury selection during this pandemic times. You can have the social distancing, we can do all the cleaning, we can provide all the safeguards till we get the jury pool small enough to bring them back into the courthouse where they'll conduct the actual trial. But it's just in an expanded bubble, so to speak.
Everybody across the state has done a lot of work to ensure that when jurors come back to service, that courts are doing everything they can to ensure safety. The fairgrounds here ensures that safety for the jurors here in Clark County. We're able to provide social distance.
Travelers on Interstate 5 should expect nighttime lane closures next week on both directions of I-5 over the Interstate Bridge. The lane closures will take place Monday through Thursday nights. Single lane closures will begin at 8 p.m. and crews could close a second lane at 10 p.m. All lanes are scheduled to open by 5 a.m. the following morning. Crews will be preparing the median to allow traffic to cross over to the southbound span in September, installing signs and starting to build the falsework, the temporary structure underneath the bridge's lift span that supports the bridge during construction. The 9-day closure of the northbound span will begin at 12:01 a.m. Saturday, September 12th. The northbound span will remain closed until 11:59 p.m. Sunday, September 20th, while crews replace mechanical parts that are used to help raise and lower the bridge. During the 9-day closure, northbound and southbound traffic will share the 3 lanes and sidewalk on the southbound span. Movable concrete barriers will allow 2 lanes of traffic to travel in the heaviest direction, with southbound lanes open for morning commute and 2 northbound lanes open for the afternoon commute. Moving a little north to another bridge issue on I-5, travelers of the Interstate and Paradise Point State Park users can now share how they use the area and suggest improvements to the Interstate 5 northbound span of the East Fork Lewis River Bridge to the Washington State Department of Transportation via an online survey. Built in 1936, the existing 84-year-old steel truss bridge currently carries over 38,000 vehicles a day, nearly 18% being large commercial freight vehicles. Maintaining this vital connection helps keep people, freight, and goods moving along the interstate, stated WashDOT engineer Laura Peterson. Paradise Point State Park, which is located directly underneath the northbound span of the bridge, will close during the construction of the multi-year project. The closure also allows Washington State Parks to make repairs and add possible upgrades to the park. For a link to the online survey, see our full story at clarkcountytoday.com. A wanted man fled from police Thursday evening near Hazeldale and later died of a self-inflicted gunshot, according to information provided by the Clark County Sheriff's Office. Just before 5 p.m. Thursday, members of the Southwest Washington Regional SWAT team were called to assist detectives from the Portland Police Bureau with apprehending a wanted person. The subject was located in an industrial area near Northeast 78th Street and Northeast 19th Court. When the subject was contacted, he fled into a building and barricaded himself inside a bathroom. Crisis negotiators attempted to work with the subject by cell phone, but he refused to surrender. The subject then suffered a self-inflicted gunshot wound and was transported to an area hospital where he was later pronounced dead. Additional details, including the identity of the subject, have not been released. You can file this next story under the Don't Try This at Home category. The pilot of a small plane was able to walk away from a crash that took place in North Clark County Friday morning. According to a report from the Clark County Sheriff's Office, the only occupant of the home-built plane was performing touch-and-go maneuvers at the time of the crash. The pilot, described by police as a man in his 60s, was flying Friday morning at a privately owned airstrip in the 14800 block of the Northeast 160th Avenue. It appears that during one of the touch and goes, a wing hit the ground during an effort to take off again. This caused the plane to roll and crash on the airstrip. The pilot was able to get out of the plane and decline medical treatment for a minor injury to his head. The Federal Aviation Administration was made aware of the crash. Earlier this week, the folks at the Washougal Motocross Park were preparing to host the National, scheduled for August 22nd. That's not going to happen now. Hours ago, the event was called off, and there will be no Washougal Motocross National this year. Here's Paul Valencia with more.
Crummy news for Clark County race fans. The Washougal MX National, scheduled for August 22nd, was canceled on Friday. Organizers believe they had a plan in place to hold the event safely with no fans. State restrictions, however, called for the cancellation of the motocross spectacle. National organizers praised Ryan Huffman, the track manager, and his crew for preparing for the August 22nd event. They said they did everything they could to make it a safe place.
Well, there's a speedy check of the stories we're following for you at ClarkCountyToday.com. Be sure to follow us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube, to see when stories are posted and be part of the conversation. You can also send us story ideas and feedback to our email, news@ClarkCountyToday.com. For all of us, I'm Jacob Graneman. Thanks so much for watching. Have an excellent weekend and stay cool out there. We'll see you again next week.